version.
I have pressed the start button, so we'll be going live. In fact, we're live. Hooray!
Hooray!
Yeah, I know.
You can tell the whole universal shift
try
happens.
To be as foul as you were before I pressed the record button.
I'll try to be less so. Can't stop painting. Must paint all the time.
Oh, let's see if my thing's been answered on Board Game Geek yet. Although it may cause Benj to lose all respect for me.
What is it?
Well, local War Machine group, kind of up in smoke.
Right.
It's just fallen to pieces.
Sounds pretty familiar everywhere at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have to say, there's Exeter's still going strong in 2 groups, but there's definitely less interest, it feels.
Well, at the moment, I've found out that there is a place basically in my back garden where there are people playing Guild Ball.
Yes, I saw some things about
that. Yeah. Bye-bye, respect.
I'm going to go along, have a demo.
I've been thinking the same because there's very strong Guild Ball following in Yeovil. And I did get pitched Guild Ball, which I found by the shop owner, because I found that very entertaining. I waited a very long time before going, yeah, I kind of know those guys, it's all right.
The one thing that kind of makes it a little bit more positive from where I was is that apparently with their Season 3 rulebook, they've really clamped down on people winning by just killing the opposition.
I saw your Twitter conversation, yes.
Yeah, which I'm not a fan of, because it's like it was one of the things in Blood Bowl. It's like, okay, you can spend the entire game kicking the crap out of my team, but if I have scored 1 touchdown and can keep the ball away from you, I still win.
Yes. Well, it's a sports game. It should be like that.
Yeah.
Half your team can be unconscious, and you can still win. Hard to at that point, but yeah.
It looks like you either have to score 3 goals or take out the entire opposing team to get like a flat-out win.
Okay.
So we'll see. It might do nothing for me. Who knows? But
I haven't.
Nothing harmed by getting.
I haven't. I have to admit, I haven't even seen it played at all yet. Either.
It hasn't been played where I've been, but then again, I've not been in places where there has been the wholesale sort of transfer of War Machine players to Guild Ball.
War Machine in Yeovil just disintegrated quite a while ago now.
What did they?
War Machine did ages ago.
Yeah, it's really difficult at the moment across the UK, despite what your post said, Mike, about the various clubs that.
I was going to say there are still some strong clubs.
Oh yeah, but they supplement the War Machine games with other games as well.
Armada.
When has that ever not been the case, Bench?
I don't know. When one game is predominantly the strong driving factor behind the club.
I would say winter of '68. It wasn't the case.
Because, well, no, even when Middle of Mark II, which is arguably the most populous bit of War Machine, sort of for the local area I've been in, 3 tables at a 10-table club, and even then, the people playing War Machine would intermittently go, I'm going to have a week off. Let's play board games. Or let's play X-Wing.
I can understand that. I mean, we all play different stuff, in our downtime, or we all have. But when a club was being driven by its War Machine community, That's a very rare sight these days, where you have multiple people on the night playing the game and dominating most of the tables, or or where you weren't struggling to find people just up for a quick 50-point match. I mean, it generally was over within like the space of an hour or so, unless it was a very grindy list or you were doing tournament practice or so. But you were able to pick up games, it seemed, and a lot.
War Machine over in the space of an hour.
Yeah.
What are you playing? 20 points.
Hey, we did have some of the WTC, qualified. No, we just had Matt with his cricks in Mark 2. It was bullshit.
What it means is Matt beat you inside of an hour. That's what it means.
Yeah. That is true. But we don't. I don't know. Looking at that other club, it's back to 40k driving, the one that's local to me, which I don't bother attending anymore. But yeah.
See, the one club I still go to always has been X-Wing for me. It's sort of like 1/3 40k, 1/3 X-Wing, and 1/3 RPGs.
I tell you what, I'm just waiting for the internet hate basically to die down on the game, because at the moment I just caught the tail end of page 10 thread in a TG board somewhere, and War Machine was sitting there. There were about 150 posts on the thread, and about a quarter of it was an argument between two people and this one guy, and these two guys were just recycling the we hate Jason Souls, we hate Mark III, we hate, all the basically memes that currently, and saying you can't enjoy this game, and they are the prevailing voice at the moment.
I think the biggest, whether we turn this into the podcast itself, but I think the biggest difference and the biggest shift that's going to hit War Machine, or is hitting War Machine, because you get people complaining about 40k in a big way. There's a lot of the die-hard players of 40k hate 8th edition. The competitive players generally seem to dislike it intensely, but they are the minority. And the difference is that, let's say that 10 people in a club are hating on 8th. The 30 or 40 people who haven't played it in 10 years or nearly have walked back in the door and are picking it up. So no one cares that 10 people are going, well, I don't want to buy into that now. You're like, well, you've already got full armies. We haven't. We're buying new stuff. This massive shift. I think the biggest difference for Privateer is that they've succeeded in this 10-year period when Games Workshop have been asleep. And they suddenly are not asleep.
But the game at the moment has to ride out these same repetitive memes that blighted the Warhammer communities, the similar sort of catchphrases almost. But that's
the Age of Sigmar type stuff, you mean?
Yeah, the Age of Sigmar, couple of years that brought the significant rules issues in various different 40k editions. That the guy lining up all of his fucking miniatures on the side of one board. Yeah, that was a meme. That was and that was like cheese versus cheese, and that's what 40k devolved into for especially in the tournament sort of scene. But now the only problem is that Privateer Press can't afford to take the same amount of negativity.
No, they're much smaller.
As GW and ride out the storm, basically. And I think as long as they continue the showboating, what almost seems like a ego ride for some of them to be part of a small games company with a very hardcore loyal following, but it's very small.
Yeah.
And if they continue to try and appeal to that and ignore some of the issues, and they said that they gave us CID as Matt Wilson said as the last attempt to engage with the community. If they can't succeed there, he couldn't see of a way of succeeding at all. And that was one of he did state that. It was quite a be all and end all statement. I can't remember where it was actually posted, but those were pretty much the words verbatim. That what more could he do? It was said maybe in a more like, we're doing it, it's great, and but I think
that may be, if that's the case, that may have been a case where I read a different tone to what you did.
Yeah, I did definitely read a different tone, because from the launch it's been difficult, and we spend most of our conversations at the moment talking about how difficult it is. There's no, I don't know. I don't have a drive to go to a tournament at the moment. I know you are.
I still do, because okay, so way back, but we've moved from Mark II to Mark III, and to be honest, I don't think there's a hell of a lot of difference. There's a couple of rules tweaks. There's a few bits where it's a bit clearer. Aside from a very early, really bad cock up with the rules, it's been fine. Everything's been smoothed out. It's usually pretty clear.
It's got better. I agree with you, it's got better, but I don't think it's been smooth since the start. I struggled with the game to the point of nearly walking away done with my I struggle. I really find it difficult to play Mark III.
And Mike, that's fine. But you cannot. And that's why that's my argument. Nothing really has changed. People aren't even picking up on that. Really, it is still, people are rehashing. Then this guy that was arguing his case, saying, maybe you guys are the minority, in your opinions, degrading the game. Maybe I just want to have fun, and he was just shouted down. Like, he was just, and it was just the same recycled, manufactured shit over and over again that they were coming up with. And it's got to get past that point. And I don't know if it's going to.
I mean, I'd kind of agree, but I'm still struggling to find why and where some of this attitude has come from with Mark III. Because there seem to be some real doom and gloomers. Not about the tournament side, which your mileage may vary as to what's happened with that, and about the club side. But it's like what's manifestly changed about the game.
I struggle to even know where to start building a list.
I concur with that, and although my faction,
I need to know how to do it.
Although my faction at the moment is, and I think that's why they've introduced themes, by the way, Kurt, to make sure that people can create lists easily that follow a certain pattern, that do a certain thing. But I don't think there's list diversity anymore, as much list diversity. And I think that was kind of why Mark II was starting to stagnate at that stage, because there wasn't list diversity, because some themes were stronger than others, or some particular builds were stronger than others in tournaments.
Yeah.
And why even take them?
Well, Mark II had some very wacky themes.
It did. Even as a troll player, it did.
One of the, what was it, that one, the Legion one? That was basically, the most powerful caster and all the things you would want to take with her.
Wow. I don't remember that. Yeah.
Was it Veil?
That sounds familiar, but I can't remember the accuracy of it. Yeah.
Which, that was insane. It's like, here are all these things which you're going to get a discount on, which you want.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
The most powerful caster. Have fun.
What's it?
What kind of madness was that? Then there was the troll.
Yay!
Here's a point off every light.
Yep. All your elemental lights, all discounted. Here, have 11 free points worth of stuff.
Yeah.
If you built it right.
Was it Machinations of Shadows or something?
Possibly.
I can't remember.
That wasn't the troll one, no.
No, the pale one. Which,
it's being a bit.
I know.
It's been 14+ months since Mark II bench, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't remember.
Vale's theme force was Winter Storm, so I can't remember what Machinations of Shadows was. Vale 2, sorry. Who was Vale 2?
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, I still, I mean, I take the point about list building because I'll be honest, I'm having a bit of a difficult time with that myself at the moment because I've built my McBain list, and that's decently strong. I've built my Damiano list. That's quite strong, but not as entertaining. And I'm sat there going, what the hell else do I do? I want to play something else at a tournament. The Merc casters and go, I don't feel like I have the pieces for you. Like in the list, in the army in totality. I could play dwarves, I suppose. Not really
Yes,
a fan of
I was right. It was Machinations of Shadows. Wow, I can remember.
Something has made him happy.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's a first. I think I've played a grand total of 4 casters in Mark III for Mercs.
I'm probably similar. Trolls.
Magnus 2, Damiano, Ashlyn. Still haven't put a Colossal on the table.
Oh. I've done that. Well, I've done Gargantuans.
Aren't Mercs though? I'm sorry to. Yeah, well, not a bit shit, but just not in a. They're not getting the same treatment. So you really are.
No, fraction.
They're not getting the same treatment. Mercs are in a strong place, but they're not getting anything new. And I mean, let me have a look at it. So, our list of casters, we've had Ashlyn 1, which that's Mark 1. Blaze was middle of Mark 2. Kane 3's Mark 3, but he's not really a Merc caster. You've got Siphon, late Mark 2. Damiano, middle of Mark 2. Durgan, Mark 1.
Yes.
Fiona was Mark 1. Gorton was Mark 1. Bane was Mark 1. Magnus 1 and 2 were Mark 1. Bart was Mark 1. Osram was
2.
Middle of Mark 1. Actually, sorry. Bane was start of Mark 2.
Yeah.
1, and then Thexus. We've had one new caster in Mark 3, and he doesn't work in Mercs.
Not a real faction.
Hashtag.
Yeah. I mean, you can take Kane 3.
I'd like to. That
is,
really appeals to me, to be honest. And that's not
take him away on a romantic holiday in the south of Spain.
No, I actually really like. I love the idea of Mark. I've always wanted to put Kane in Mercs.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great idea. But his feat, which is ranged synergy, it's like, okay, well, let's look at our ranged warjacks. Well, I've got the Buccaneer. Nah, that doesn't do damage. Okay. Booter? No. Gallant? No. Galleon it might work with, but that's 39 points. Okay. So you can maybe have one of those in the battle group. You can't use the Avalanche, Basher, Driller, Earthbreaker, Blaster, or Gunner. Mangler doesn't have a ranged weapon. The Mariner has to be one of the most awkward guns in the game.
So you feel like you're
a warrior model base to base.
You feel like you're playing Scorn, basically.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Nomad, ranged weapon. He can't take the Renegade. Rocinante can take Rocinante. Quite a good guy on Rocinante. Rocinante is also made out of string and paper. Being Def 10, Armor 18. Rover? Yeah, okay. 15 points. It's not terrible. Range 10, but, you know, it's doable. Very few people have got more than one. Can be an issue. Talon? No range weapon there. Vanguard. Vanguard's 11 points, which is insane.
A bit like the Impaler.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like either I can have this heavy warjack in a Nomad at 11 points, or a Vanguard.
Yep, but I'm not joking. The Impaler's 11 points as well.
It's madness.
It's like take 11 points for an Impaler, or 16 points for the Bomber with the same Animus. Well, I'll have a bomb, please.
Yeah, the bomber has basically just gone, oh, so I don't need that impaler for the Animus anymore? No?
No,
Fine,
he's been
I just want
sacked.
bomber.
There's an icy one coming to make him put all of your impalers right on the shelf, so you'll never use them again. Cheaper version, no Animus, doesn't need it. It's all good.
Yeah. See, I'll sit here until blue in the face complaining about the fact that Mercs needed. Either the Vanguard needs to be reassessed, or Mercs need a good ranged light, or even a mediocre ranged light. We'll take that. Range 10, power 11. Pardon?
Gators are getting some new releases.
Oh, fantastic! Just make me feel better about it.
So, well, all the minions are, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
Well, to be fair, every faction's getting new stuff because Mercs are now allowed.
Oh yeah, 12 factions of Christmas and no Mercs.
Oh no, they did get one caster.
What, in that 12 factions of Christmas?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
All right.
They got what's his fucking face? Gaston 2, all grown up.
Right. Oh yeah.
Super shotgun.
I've been queried about the YouTube comments because I'm being lazy and not reading them.
There's a YouTube comment.
Oh Christ! There's some of those. Yes, there are YouTube comments.
Jesus.
Let's pop those out. So I've got Matt and Byron and David listening in.
Byron from Wales.
Yeah, Byron Lars.
Cool. Hello.
So yes, we are now observing the YouTube chat because apparently that's a thing.
We,
keep
the
forgetting
raw
about
we.
Richard.
Yeah. I'm currently killing bone beak hawks in High Mountain on the planet of Azeroth.
You guys are friends.
Anyway. Hello, and welcome to Elite Cadre, the Hordes War Machine podcast that meanders quite a lot. I don't know.
Wait, we haven't started.
Wait, what?
Wait, we
Yes.
haven't.
That was the start.
I'm sorry to
That was the
interrupt you,
pre-run.
Mike. Oh, okay. Now I'm very sorry to interrupt you. That was all my best bits. Sorry.
I'm Mike.
Alex.
Croaky Alex, I'm Kurt.
I'm already done. I thought we were live. Oh fuck. I'm
You
benched.
just expended all your effort on that.
I have, yeah. I went deep into the barrel.
If you want to hear the good bits of Ben, go to the after show bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're always available.
The rest of this will be mostly silence.
Classy.
Well, this episode we thought we'd bring you something a little bit different, in that one of the people on the podcast has picked up 40k again.
Hello.
Yes. So, Kurt, 40k, go.
Right, I'm muting myself and I'll see you in about half an hour.
I can start with the short version of I never ever thought I would ever play this game again. I put down 40k. I put down 40k how many years ago? Well, Hordes came out in 2006, didn't it? About 6, 9, 12 months before that, I threw my 40k in a cupboard and swore I'd never going to play it again. And then
Was that just a fit of rage?
it was a fit of my army's not legal anymore after I'd spent a long time painting it and put it together, and the rules had changed and didn't like it. I think it was 4th edition at that point, and then 5th was coming, and it was just like my Black Templar. I had to change my Terminator squad, so they were all illegal. That I'd rage quit the entire thing at that point. I spent a lot of time on Black Templar with no money and just sort of put it up slowly and painted it really nicely, and yeah. So that was kind of the main reason for rage quitting. And I didn't like where the rules were going, and they proceeded to get worse after that.
So which edition change was that?
I think it was 4th to 5th. I think I'd been playing 4th, and the change to 5th was where I went, no, can't.
Yeah, there were dark days.
You lasted longer than I did.
I started on 1st.
I didn't last long into 3rd.
I played quite a lot of third, mostly second. I have to be honest. Most of what I played was second.
Well, that's because the games took so long.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I played it from back in my teens. For years and years, I'd regularly play 2 or 3 games 40k a week, regularly, week in, week out, for a long time. Until that point. Rage quit it, saw Shining Wars. I had looked at War Machine before that and gone, yeah, I quite like those. Yeah, I quite like that. And then kind of gone, oh, look, more 40k. But then that happened, and then Hordes appeared, and I looked at the models and waded into Hordes. And then proceeded to sell, as I wanted to buy more Hordes and War Machine, or just Trolls. I proceeded to gradually sell 40k. Sold all of my Eldar, which was a lot, including Phantom Titan and all sorts of stuff. But I hung on to a few choice little bits and pieces, a few Tyranids. My Black Templar, the main box of painted Black Templar, they'd taken so long over them, I wasn't going to sell those. So they just went into the loft and stayed there for 10 years and more. What else did I keep? I did keep a box of 1,000 Suns. Although I still can't find what I'm sure I didn't sell, but I can't find the main box of the main army, but never mind now. I'm buying new stuff. Yeah. And then
I don't think I would want my old Marines back if I found them.
Well, I recently, it's interesting you say that, because I posted, I found, after I really bought some new bits and stuff, I've got an unpainted Land Raider with some nice resin forgeable bits on it. I found a rather beaten up Land Raider. It was on my shelf next to my desk, just buried under stuff. It's been there the 5 years I've lived in this house, I think, underneath other stuff. It's a very yellowy painted World Eaters Land Raider that's had the doors prized off it, 1,000 Suns doors stuck on it and not repainted and just stuck under stuff. And I dug that out and I posted that on Twitter last week, and it was very interesting, the responses I got. Some were kind of like, wow, cool. Or some were like, wow, you're brave pushing that up online. Jesus.
Yeah, that was fugly as fuck.
It is. I'm looking at it right now. It is. But yeah, so 8th, I saw the preamble for 8th. I was skeptical. I watched a lot of YouTube for 8th coming out. A lot of different channels, different previews and different stuff. And well, do you know what impressed me first? The most impressive thing to begin with was that all those YouTube channels got sent, I think for free, it looks like for free, got sent the starter box and then got sent all the indexes. Because some clever spark at GW has worked out that this is free marketing.
Yeah.
Or at least,
yeah.
It's taken them how long?
Not expensive, but
yeah. But it's taken them how long to do that? Oh, true, yeah, it's not quite free, but it's worth a hell of a lot more value for money. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
if you can send out a bit of cardboard for a box and 10 sprues, that's peanuts to a company like GW.
And you've got channels that have tens of thousands of subscribers because this is 40k. This isn't War Machine or obscure game in the corner. This is 40k. So all these channels have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I was shocked at the numbers because I haven't looked at these things since YouTube's been the way it is.
Yeah.
Since it's been like regular viewing for most of us at different times. You suddenly go, oh, that's what a popular game looks like. Even the X-Wing channels aren't as popular. Even though X-Wing is massively popular, the same people don't seem to watch YouTube. They don't want to watch people playing the game. They just want to play it. So yeah, I watched a lot of it. Took a lot of kind of reviews, and the PDF with the free rules went up online. Downloaded it, printed it out, and said to one of my mates, "Do you want to try this?" And he had some Tyranids, really old second edition Tyranids. Yeah, they're really, really hard. And so we threw down and played a game quite gradually and making sure we did it right and trying things out, and it was ridiculously fun. It was like going back to second ed. It really is. It's not the same. It's not second ed, but it feels like second ed. It's a lot quicker though.
Well, because judging by some of the stuff that's in there, it's things are noticeably faster than they were in second ed.
Yeah.
Because
you don't spend 2 turns walking up the table to get to each other.
Yeah. Marines used to be used to have a 4-inch move. Now they've got a 6.
Yeah.
+1 right there.
Well, what I quite liked was that they took away this everything moves 6 inches as well, which has been the rule set since what, 4th ed? And I like
third.
It's to come in third, and they've gone. No, we're now giving everything back their movement. But as you say, the baseline is Marines and Guard, and then you've got Eldon moving 7 or even 8, and you've got some of the slower Marines move 5, 4.
The problem you always had with the everything moves 6 thing was that they had to go, oh, well, hang on, Eldar are faster, so we'll have to make a fleet of foot rule for them?
Fleet of foot rule, yeah.
Like, roll a d6 or something and they move this.
It was exactly that, yeah.
There were so many little get-out clauses that were just, like, slightly random.
So I haven't kept up with 40k, but what I found is looking back at the 7th stuff, because obviously I didn't even look at 7th. I did buy the rulebook for 6th, I think 2 weeks before 7th came out, because I had no idea what's happening. I thought about it at 6th, but 6th was only out for like, a year or something, wasn't it? And roughly. And I bought it, and then 7th landed, and I was like, sod this. If you're going to just bring out new books with no warning when the book's on the shelf, and I'll buy it, and it's done already.
Yeah, 6th to 7th was 2 years.
Yeah, so I've got a nice shiny book that I've never used, but when looking at YouTube channels now, because I'm looking at 8th stuff, and obviously 8th has now been around several months. I start off with I keep finding myself watching 7th stuff by accident, and actually some of them I'm stuck with, and I've been astounded at the level of details in the rules for 7th.
Yeah,
it was shocking.
2 books down. 2 books down.
So many special rules that are really complicated, and the interactions of those special rules is ridiculously convoluted. I'm like, I can't play this. I didn't try and play it.
That's always the big problem with any war game that's grown over time. You do eventually get to the point where you have to go, right, we need to knock everything down so we can build it up again, because it just gets bloat.
Yeah. So the simplicity really appealed. I played it. I played some games. We played some of different things. With my 1,000 Suns and proxying a few other bits and pieces as well, because I've got literally a bucket of original Dark Eldar, which is what, 3rd, because it went in 2nd, wasn't it? 3rd. And it literally is a plastic tub just with it all thrown in, because I tried to sell it and no one wanted it, because all the new stuff was coming out as I was trying to sell my stuff, so I couldn't sell it if I wanted to, couldn't give it away. So I kept that, and that's been quite cool to get out. I even played a game against Dark Eldar with my daughter, my 10-year-old playing Dark Eldar, which she loved. So that's an interesting one as well. It's now simple enough to teach to your 10-year-old again, which it hasn't been for quite a while. Just good fun. It's just a laugh. I think that's the biggest takeaway for me. I've avoided it because I kind of don't want to sit and paint 10 of the same model. Well, the models aren't actually all the same anymore. I bought Zangors for my 1,000 Suns, which are basically beast men for 1,000 Suns. And there's such a multi-part, complicated, so many different options. I've got so many spare bits from that pack. It's off the scale. And same was true of everything, which is how, again, going back to how it once was. You got a ton of extra spare bits, and the models. I can't believe how detailed and how good the plastics are from having been away from Games Workshop for 10 years.
It's the one thing GW have always done properly is their plastics.
It's how much they've upped that game, though. It's how much that game has upped while I've been not aware of it. It's because I think I've been playing other manufacturers' plastics, and you come back to Games Workshop and you go, how are you still this far ahead of everybody else? I mean, I know they're big, but
I would say the only company that's I've seen that's really even close in terms of their plastics is Weird. Because they've gone, nope, we're not doing any of this what's the word? Restic stuff.
They do have a couple of bits of
justice to what we're doing anymore. We're just going to go for proper sprued ABS and actually make it work. I will say that their stuff is a little bit softer than.
They have got some Restic stuff now, though. They have also got some of that out as well. And one thing I would say about Weird Plastics, I can't remember the name of them, but I remember when I got some. There are some scale issues. Even in one box, there were 3 models, and there were 3 kind of very different sizes.
See, scale issues don't bother me so much,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you're talking about a model that is probably not the size it is.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
If you were
I get
talking
it,
about
but then when you've got you buy a box of 3 models, you would expect them all to be roughly
In the same box. In the same box, yeah. But
Yeah.
different generations. I mean, 40K now, Space Marines are now much bigger. Anything you buy new in the last 6 months, much bigger. And that's not just Primaris. Primaris are bigger, but the Thousand Suns Rubric Marines that came out Christmas-ish, I haven't bought any yet, but they're bigger. Everything's bigger. It's like
the different. I've got the old Blood Bowl set here. I bought the new one. I put the humans next to each other and thought there is no comparison here. I put the old Blood Bowl Ogre next to the new Blood Bowl humans and went, oh, that's more of a comparison.
Wow.
They have really ramped up the scale.
It's nice. I like it.
I do like the new Primaris. The Primaris Marines, they do look very good. Like even the new Scout Infantry that they have there with the light power armor.
Yeah.
And some of the heavies as well. They just the scale looks more impressive. The facial details, whilst they were also very impressive, just larger models, larger heads, larger limbs. It all just looks. The miniatures look great to paint, and the bolters as well. Bolters look fantastic.
Yeah. They're very cool. I think if I didn't have giant size, quote unquote, Thousand Suns that I could buy as well, I'd probably be converting Primaris, but I don't need to because they've already done those. They did those first. I didn't really explain. Didn't kind of go. These are big because they just didn't explain it. And they've done Nurgle Plague Marines are bigger as well, but they haven't really explained why. It's those seem to be the 2 leading Chaos factions now. And the indexes came out to give everybody rules to start off with, which was quite nice, but they're kind of simple, but they're quite nice. And now the codex is coming out.
Didn't they axe one of the Chaos Gods?
Sorry?
Didn't they axe one of the Chaos Gods anyway?
No.
No.
That was the rumor. That was the rumor. Slaanesh was being phased out to an extent. I think all the kind of the nudity was being phased out because Slaanesh has always had a sort of sexual element to it. They phased out a lot of the sexual side of things. And no, it's Emperor's Children is the lead leak for the Chaos book. They've definitely come back. There's a demon box coming out as well. New starting Slaanesh demon box coming out. I think they've just been redesigning it a bit, taking a bit of a step back, taking their time with it, and going right. So it looked that way. I mean, Age of Sigmar Slaanesh was kind of bloated and gone to sleep or some nonsense, wasn't it? Wasn't it she or he or whatever? But there isn't a. It's not true in 40K. You can still wheel out your Emperor's Children. Noise Marines and the whole lot. Sounds like new ones coming as well.
Age of Sigmar and 40K have kind of moved apart quite a distance anyway.
They have, yeah.
They're different games for different purposes.
Yes. Yeah, very true. Parallels, obviously, but no, yeah, very true. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I've bought Zangars, which are weird beastmen that I'm painting that I'm really enjoying. All sorts of random bits and pieces, new Terminators, which have been posted in progress as I painted those on Twitter.
I was going to say, I have liked the look of the stuff you've been painting. It's not something I think I could paint myself, but what you've been doing has looked really good.
It's really fun. It's just it's really weird sort of nostalgia, but with kind of taking what I've learned from 10 years of painting less models in an army. Okay, my troll box is rather large, I'll admit, but I've learned to take longer and paint better models, and now applying that to a squad is still fun and still it's merging the two. I really enjoyed painting those Terminators. I'm so tempted to buy another box, just because it'd be fun. I've even for the first time bought some magnets, and I've magnetized the heavy weapon on the Terminators so I could swap them over. I've never done that before. And I think I would do that with Dreadnoughts as well. It's just like, yeah, I want options and choice without buying multiple models, and it's no-brainer, really.
Well, you heard it here first.
I mean, I think that would, I think that the thing that would eventually do it for me is the fact that I could go back to painting that many models again. I mean, yeah, I suppose War Machine armies have crept up to that size.
But it doesn't feel like it because
I'm
an
not
army you put on
making
the
any-
table isn't as big, but what you need in your collection is arguably more. It's what you put on a single army on the table. We all have multiple armies within our single War Machine collection. So trolls, a 50 point or 75 point troll army is 40-ish models at times. And you obviously put way more Marines and tons more Orcs and Guard on our table. But actually, the total number of models in my case of my trolls is probably comparable to 40k army.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
It's kind of part of the reason I've been enjoying X-Wing so much, frankly, because I
less
just
to paint.
buy new stuff and don't have to paint.
A lot less to paint. Yeah.
So I don't know how it's pronounced, either the Scourge or the Scourge. Turned up, and the next evening I was playing it at club and going, "My, isn't this broken?"
Yes, I've heard that as well. I heard it's interesting.
So, if there's a game that needs a Mark 1.5, oh boy. So, how many games of 40k have you got in so far, do you reckon, Kat?
Half a dozen, maybe
Okay.
5. Not many. Still not many.
Well, to be honest, you're a busy man.
True. It's quite helpful getting my daughter involved because that means that might up the number of games because she might be keen to play more, or at least be bullied into play more.
And she can paint your army for you.
She can paint her own army. She's already been going through the. She's already been going through the old the 6th ed book and flicking through armies and factions. I thought she'd be drawn to Tau because she loves anime. And actually, in a more cliched fashion, she's being drawn to Sisters of Battle, who seem to be getting a codex some point in the next few months, which looks like it might mean, from a rumor point of view, they might actually get some new plastics for the first time ever.
If they get plastics, I would definitely go balls deep into Sisters of Battle. That sounds wrong, but
It's
That
looking
does sound wrong.
it's looking likely.
It sounds wrong because it is, Ben.
I would go balls deep into the Sisters.
It's looking likely.
There are 2 things that would potentially have the power to pull me into 40k. One would be getting plastic Praetorians for the Guard, which is never going to happen.
Here we go.
Years. I'm sorry, Benj, for having something I like and that's fun.
Brits with las.
I apologise profusely.
Here comes the Empire in space.
Stick it up your tailpipe.
Okay.
But no, I love the look of Praetorians. They're my thing. I appreciate they're not for everyone, but I like them and I don't care. The other thing would potentially be Sisters of Battle, depending on how they look. Because I have always had a bit of a soft spot for Sisters of Battle, but I do remember my last outing with them, which was in one of the PC games, which was just a horrible, broken mess.
Sisters of Silence seem to be getting more attention. Sisters of Battle are rumoured to be getting their own codex, and it seems to be in the early waves. So kind of the waves are obviously, the rumours have already been shown to be not true, but even if they're rearranging it, it's looking likely to be in the autumn. So if they get a new codex, they should get new models because their models are dire old and very expensive. So I wouldn't.
Yes.
They seem to have a lot of plans for a lot of releases.
Some of them are still basically on the 2nd edition metals.
They are for 50 quid a squad.
I mean, it's not quite that Eldar jet bike, but
no,
it's getting close.
Yeah, that was a long time waiting for that.
I mean, how long did that hang around for?
What, the metal one? The metal one?
The Harlequin jet bike.
Oh, that Harlequin jet bike. Oh,
no,
even longer. The Harlequin jet bike before Harlequins got their own. I don't know when the Harlequins only came out. What, last year? Proper Harlequins that are out now. And then that bike originally came out. I was probably 17.
The one with the face on the front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that coming out.
Oh, fond memories.
So that's 5 years?
Yeah.
I've still got one. I've got one upstairs. I kept my Harlequin.
We've had a question from Matt in the chat room. Would you go to a 40k tournament?
No.
No.
No. No, Matthew, I would not. No.
The people that play 40k competitively are the.
I might go to a scenario day thing, though. That's what I might do.
Like a campaign weekend, or
so I used to really enjoy Veterans Night. That was the one kind of regular kind of thing I used to go to at 40k was Veterans Night in Games Workshop on a Monday night where you had to be 18 and over or whatever it was, what the limit was. And that was fun. I enjoyed that because you're playing against adults and it was a laugh and because it was a scenario and it was City Fight. I think at the time we played it, the last thing I remember was City Fight, when that was fairly new. That was awesome. I enjoyed that with my Black Templar. So that I might do, maybe. But I'd consider a scenario sort of weekend thing. But not a competitive tournament, no way.
There you go, Matt. There's your answer.
It's not that kind of game. It's fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, in all the time, I mean, I played 40k for too many years.
Yeah.
Decade. And never went to a tournament.
I went to weekend things, so I'd go to what's the right word? Gaming conventions, but generic gaming conventions. So things like Colours that used to be in Reading and Newbury, isn't it? And there's one that used to be in Weymouth. I'd go to those things and I'd take part, or even in Bournemouth actually, and I'd take part in stupidly huge games with 4 players on each side and 10,000 points and those kind of stuff. I do those things, but it's not a thing at all. That's just having a laugh with your mates and doing silly stuff and not caring what dies because nobody can keep track of it anyway. I do that. That'd be a laugh. But no, I can't imagine going to. Yeah, it doesn't need to be something more fluffy. I mean, you've got numbers of length of time playing 40k. I've been playing War Machine pretty consistently and regularly for 12 years-ish, even before the last 12 months of less so, and 11 years. And I don't even think that scratched the surface of the number of 40k games I played in my 20s. It's off the scale.
To be fair, you had more time then.
Much.
And more boundless enthusiasm.
And more money.
Yeah.
More disposable income, anyway.
I was going to say, money's nice. Having just got the new job and straight into MOT month, I'm feeling the pinch right now.
Yeah, I bet. So buying bits, I'm buying stuff. I'm buying bits on eBay, which is quite fun because some people are rage quitting, which is quite entertaining. Or it looks that way.
Well, to be fair, whenever you have any kind of edition change for a game, you have both the people who go, "Well, I'm never playing this again," and you usually have the people like yourself who go, "Oh, it's changed editions. Let's see if I can get a game."
Yeah. Although on the other hand, anybody who's interested in a Circle army should come and talk to me because I've got quite a lot of Circle, some of which is painted, some of which is not, and I don't think I really want it anymore. But I also don't want to sell it piecemeal on eBay.
I'll have it.
Really?
Yeah, I've started getting a few Circle bits.
I shall talk to you then, because I could definitely let that go if anybody's great, including a fully painted giant, huge, great, what's it thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll speak to you about
gorilla thing. Giant gorilla
also,
thing.
Benj, if you look for Circle, I might be able to help you out.
I was the first.
Jesus, don't all come at once. Like,
yeah, it's not like playing.
Well, to be fair, I'll have the opportunity to see Benj first because we're allegedly meeting up to have some games. So
yeah, I said, Friday after this week should be a good day.
Yep. Well,
so, yeah. I'm very much looking forward to the fact that Thousand Sons are confirmed to have their own codex, and it's due not too distant future. So I'm looking forward to that.
You know what's coming out soon as well?
What's that?
L5R, LCG.
Yeah, boy.
It's time to throw your money into cards.
Well, at least it's an LCG. Also, I have a really good local card gaming shop.
Yeah, LCG or not, it's a fantasy flight thing. You'll be throwing down the dollar regardless. I know that it'll be spread out, so you won't feel the pinch all at once, but it's going to be a costly thing, but it's worth it. The base set is around 30 quid.
Having played Netrunner to the point where I was doing tournaments of it and doing but okay, an LCG is nothing cost-wise. You are paying
competitively in a CCP.
What you do? You've got your initial outlay, which is probably 2 to 3 copies of the starter box because stupid practices. Okay, it's not stupid for the profits, but it's stupid for people playing it. So you've got through that. So that's between £60 and £90 initial outlay. Then it's £10 a month. Because normally it's one release per month or every other month, depending on how the game goes. But you're looking at £10 a month, and that is pretty much a drop in the ocean. That is, oh well, I guess I won't go to KFC tonight. I'll, buy something else. So LCGs are like compared to almost any other game.
Unless you come into them a bit later on and you have to buy it all.
Yeah, if you buy all in one lump go.
On the flip side, a lot of LCGs, when they get to that point, will start deliberately limiting their card pool. So, for instance, Netrunner, I believe, is limited to 2 cycles, maybe 3. Your cards are now no longer tournament legal. So you don't need to buy the entire, find and buy the entire back catalogue. You just have to concentrate on what's actually available right there. It's still an outlay. Don't get me wrong. You still need to plonk down some money. But in the grand scheme of things, next to, say, if you wanted to buy the equivalent to what was an old 2,000 point 40k army or a 50 point war machine army, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's hundreds of pounds there, yeah.
So,
as you start getting into your rares, your promos, your
it's an LCG
your Netflix. Yeah, I know.
You'll
never collect it all.
There's no concept.
You'll never collect it all.
No. It's an LCG. There's no concept of a rare or a legendary or anything like that.
Tournament, there are exclusives.
Okay, if you want the ones with the promotional image on, which are purely for this card looks nicer.
But this card also, it looks nicer, but you definitely want it because it definitely looks nicer than the card that's probably replacing.
Yeah, but it's not necessary to play the game and win the tournament.
But that also is true of.
Yeah, you can still go to tournaments.
That's true of all of them,
and perform exactly the same.
That's true of all the games. They all have things that you exclusively bits and pieces you want to try and get, regardless, don't they? Card games and limited games. I mean, there's a limited edition Captain that's only available.
I'm purely trying to say that in an LCG, having that stuff that is exclusive to tournaments doesn't fundamentally disadvantage those who don't want to spend more money.
It's not a disadvantage, but to someone like me who is a collector, it's fucking annoying.
A lot of things are annoying.
You're never going to get a whole bench in that case because some of it is like, World Championships top 4 only.
Well, yeah, you find it on eBay for like you find it on eBay for $400. That's generally where those
some stuff in X-Wing just doesn't do that. Some of the stuff right at the top does not do that.
Okay.
If you're talking about that, the stuff you get for just playing in an event or whatever, that'll turn up all the time. And we have that kit feeding into the tournaments that we do at club. Because we have a pool of alternate art cards and, everyone who plays gets something.
That's very charitable.
Well, what we normally do is first person, the top player gets first pick.
Yeah, that's quite common.
Going, all the scum cards are left. Oh, well, they're mine. Being the lone scum player.
You mean you don't want the Nebulon B alternate art?
Pardon?
You don't want the Neb B alternate art?
I cannot hear a word you're saying, Kurt.
You don't want the Nebulon B alternate art, you mean?
Can anyone translate for me?
Something about Nebulon B.
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
Mike, have you gone deaf? That was pretty clear.
I just can't hear what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
What did you say, Mike?
Nice.
High quality podcast.
Anyway, I'll cut this bit out. It's fine. I'll fix it in post.
Okay.
We've had a couple of
You're
questions.
going to put it in the post?
Oh no.
Yes. We've had a couple of questions from Mr. Tremblay.
I've heard of him.
What's a Tremblay?
Yes. So, first one is, what are your thoughts on the action shown for War Machine at Lock and Load?
I didn't catch the first part of that. What was your...
What are your thoughts on the new action shown for War Machine at Lock and Load?
And I didn't catch it then because Kurt was cackling.
Are we talking Grimkin here?
No! We're talking the Crucible Guard?
Oh, yes. Sorry, no, I know the one you mean.
Steam tanks.
What's it called?
I have concerns. God. So, if they are what I think they are, which is the former members of the Golden Crucible,
yeah, which has been confirmed.
What? Yeah, why are they their own faction?
Because limited release faction.
They're a limited release faction on their own, but logic dictates they should partially form the Leyli's resistance and should partially be going into Cadre.
Just that last bit.
I don't. Well, at least some of the people of Lael do class themselves as Umbrian and are fine with it.
Not that I talk to.
Yes, that's not the majority, but it's. I don't see. I'll be honest. This is part of a whole concerning thing for me with War Machine as a whole. The statement that there will be a new faction every year, and that worries me, because if we're seeing a new powerful flavor of the month, there's going to be so much bloat.
Yep.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen in other games.
I will be honest. I could, at some point, either War Machine collapses under its own weight, having a new faction every year, or they have to take the Games Workshop step.
Reboot.
And start saying, okay, these are your tournament legal models. These are the ones that are going in the army books and in War Room 3 or whatever it is. And these models just aren't. They're gone from the timeline.
One of the reasons that I liked War Machine in the first instance was the faction.
The girls.
That too. The faction identities, they were very unique, and they were and there seems to be a kind of dilution of that in these kind of factions which steal some of the mechanics and identities, but are not full releases, and are flavors of the month. So,
yeah. I mean, again, I look at Grimkin and I go, well, surely you could have put those as a pact in Minions.
Yeah.
Because you've already got things like the Gremlin Swarm in Minions.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just make them part of that? It's a concerning direction, I'll be honest. Yeah, if it works, fine. And I'm sure they've got enough people there who are smart enough to make it work. But
people who are playing the new faction have had positive reports. There are still segments of the community that are just saying that it's a Malifaux ripoff.
That actually has been one of the things I have seen, and you make a very good point there, Benj. People who are playing Grimkin are apparently having a hell of a lot of fun with the faction.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah,
it is doing something a little bit different, because you do have things that, well, mechanically work on a totally different level. So,
yeah,
my concern is when you get to year 4, year 5, and you've got your Grimkin, and you've got your Golden Crucible, and you've got your Frog Empire or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like that. one of the things of War Machine, I suppose this is easier in the past, was knowing what was out there, and it just becomes
impossible.
a hell of a lot harder.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the two reasons for the two factions that have been announced. The first one advancing the plot with the old witch, because she's kind of been redundant in recent sort of years, doing her own thing, and it's been and it's testing the waters after the last big battle, basically, where Crix took a battering. But also the Golden Crucible will take us back to Lael, which has kind of also been kind of, brushed under the carpet. So they're trying to ignite those storylines.
As someone who used to play a lot of Lael's stuff and has found that some of it's been taken away and some of it's unworkable in Mark III, I mean, what's next? A precursor faction that doesn't work with mercenaries either?
What, a Church of Morrow faction? Yeah, potentially. I mean, they said, I don't know who said that it won't work with mercs, and I don't know why this shouldn't. This should work with
the phrase that came out on Twitter from, I may be misquoting here, but I believe it was Schick, is that they're a completely standalone faction.
Okay. I just don't understand that.
Now, it may well be that a lot of them will work for mercs, and that will be fine. But it's going to be, it's good. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how that one shakes down. Design-wise, I think a lot of what came up at Lock and Load still looks good. I like a lot of what the design aesthetic of War Machine. I find it very appealing. But yeah, as a merc player, I'm feeling kind of down at the moment.
I've also missed the Lely's content. I used to love playing Lely's mercenary army. That's what I used to play a long time ago. And I used to love it as well.
Well, I've got 2 gun mages, one of which used to be yours, Kurt, that I just can't play in mercs anymore.
I completely forgot that.
That's it. Yep. So I bought them for the was it the La Resistance?
Yeah.
Theme Force in Mark II, and that's just gone. Sad times. So it's like the 4 chargers I bought for Bad Seeds, which I now can't play either.
I quite like the whole kind of Kane joining, Kane 3 being a merc caster as a principle rather than the detail of the rules and what you can run with him. But because
I'm not sure at this point if you're just trying to wind me up.
I'm not. Because I always liked in escalation. Signar helping Lael defend against Cadre, and I liked the fact that you could kind of it was leading towards building this kind of hybrid mercenary. Hybrid merc.
Kane as a merc is nothing to do with Signar. Well,
I know.
Storyline wise, he's nothing to do with Signar. He's walked out on the Signaran military.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but I quite liked. I mean, it's a long time ago that Escalation came out, but it was. I liked the Signar supporting mercs trying to defend Lael. I always liked that kind of fluffy element of that army at the time, but yeah.
What we'll be interested to see is if there's eventually the crossover the other way with Magnus going, because
you cut out, Mike.
He helped put the new king on the throne.
Mike, you cut out for a bit then.
Okay. What will be interesting to see is if the crossover happens back the other way. If Magnus ends up back in Signar.
Yeah, spoiler alert for Blood of Kings. That's kind of how it looks like it's shaping up at the end of that book.
If you've not read it by now, a year after it was published, more than a year after it was published, then...
More fool you.
Well, there's no hope for you.
There's no hope for me because I haven't read it.
Excellent.
But you knew that, though.
Any other thoughts on sort of the new... Well, anything of the new stuff that was shown at Lock and Load, actually?
Excited for the new Gators.
Okay.
I'm waiting to get a look at it. I was surprised that Barnabas 2 wasn't a bit more epic looking, kind of anticipated with his ascendance to demigod status, he would be a bit more kind of.
Yeah, I agree what you mean.
He just looks like Barnabas still. Which
I was going to say the Epic is not a status anymore.
No, I never
It's
said
just Barney
Epic.
too.
Barnabas too. But I would have thought he would look a bit more.
Well,
epic.
you did say not looking a bit more epic.
Yeah, no, I said Barnabas too. I would have thought he would look a bit more epic. I know he's not an epic caster. He's not epic Barnabas. He's an epic caster. But I just thought there'd be maybe a little bit more to him. But
clean up.
But yeah, no, I think all that. So I think, it'd be interesting to see the direction that they're going. Well, you can see which direction they're going with a lot of undead gators. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing what they come out with. It's put me in a bit of a conundrum because I had picked up some Crick stuff that I was going to start playing with, but now I'm kind of back on the minion wagon.
Well, moving on from that question, Adam Tremblay again has asked another question, which is what miniature games are you excited for that are coming out later in 2017 or 2018? So things like Game of Thrones, the Fallout miniatures game, anything like that. I can state
Game of Thrones.
I can state my answer really quickly, which is none of them.
Yeah, I know some about.
None of those. Green Horde
That's
for
not a miniature game.
Zombicide, which is
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Green Horde for Zombicide.
Really?
Yep.
Are you sure that's not just a step too far?
No, I like it. I want it. I got it. Bought it. Balls deep.
Kurt loves his Zombicide.
I know,
There's
but
There's a lot of play. Can't think what else though.
There's not that much else, really, is there? On the horizon?
There's probably tons, but we just don't know what it is. How about Adam does?
Yeah, Adam probably does now. I mean, I do try and keep up with a lot of the miniatures gaming news. To be honest, I've deliberately restricted what I buy into and what I pay attention to because
money.
I enjoy playing War Machine, and I really enjoy playing X-Wing, and I cannot support a third miniature game.
I can't keep track of the rules. I'm not joking.
Well, I am waiting for an X-Wing FAQ update at the moment, so I'm going to take the Jump Master and nail that thing to the ground quite hard.
I thought that already happened.
Pesky Jump Master.
No, well, one nerf has already happened to the Jump Master.
Yeah, not enough.
Which was to do with the sequence of firing and spending focus tokens. Second one incoming is potentially more severe. And it does things like take away a torpedo slot.
Oh, I have heard that rumor, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I play much X-Wing, but yeah.
Forums are going to be blowing up about it. We don't know if it's true. So we'll see where that one goes. But no, for me, I am potentially at the moment because there is a local scene for it. Looking at Guild Ball, but that's not something that's coming out later this year.
Steady.
But this is the thing, Bench. When you have a local scene, it's pretty much a case of play or you don't get a game.
That's fine. I mean, I wouldn't play a game for the sake of playing a game, if that makes sense. If I didn't enjoy the aesthetic, or
I think as well. If I hadn't been bitten by the 40k bug, I'd be seriously looking at Guild Ball, I think.
Well, that's fine. As I say, it's each to their own.
This is where we get to like episode 90. It's Benj in a corner just screaming at us while it becomes a Guild Ball podcast.
If it becomes a Guild Ball podcast, I can retire. So that's fine.
Right, so
as the shortest serving member of the elite Cadre crew.
Yeah, I would.
Are you saying he's not very tall?
That is true. I am very short.
4'1".
Yeah, I'm Angry Dwarf.
So yeah, that's so no one else really excited about anything for other than Zombicide.
New miniatures game wise. I've got a hype train running. It's not a miniatures game. But
Yeah, whereas at that point, I'm the outsider because I have no interest in that at all. I think I was born in the wrong decade.
You are very old.
It's true.
That is true.
It is true.
Have we got to any other business?
Is it? Oh,
Is it a short one? This.
Well, might as well, because unless people have got more topics of conversation they want to come up with.
I don't know. My legs ache.
arthritis.
I mean, I could have spent.
Feel it in your bones.
I could have spent the last hour just ranting about how every incarnation of Fiora is terrible. But I don't think
Your
anyone would.
chillblains acting up as well.
Yeah.
I've always quite liked Fiora. You mean Mark III Fiora?
Mark 3, yeah. She just seems like not enough focus. Gonna die a lot. And she doesn't really work with either Jacks or infantry that well.
Wow,
Like-
it's like the opposite to what she used to be like.
Well, she's still got the signature spells, but not the focus to run a lot of Jacks in any of the sort of themes. She can range poke and do the fire shenanigans, but fire doesn't seem to be that much of an issue now, especially with the way that
Focus pressure should be off most casters as far as adding more Jacks to battle groups you can go.
Yeah. You can add all your racks and your reclaimers and all that jazz and your support, but it just doesn't seem. Her sort of lists were always anti-infantry, and infantry, apart from maybe Cadre, doesn't seem to be that much prevalent.
I was going to say mercenaries run infantry, but that's because we have to.
Well, I can set you on fire then.
And actually do Ghost Fleet.
Oh,
If you really want to run into some infantry, run face first into Ghost Fleet.
okay.
In fact, I believe you got a local player who plays Ghost Fleet.
Oh, wait a
Does he
minute.
play Ghost Fleet?
Yes.
Oh, okay. He's a terrible person though. I need some magical weapons for that, Jazz.
Play Ghost Fleet, I should say.
Could. He plays other things. He's more respectable than that.
Oh, only vaguely.
Vaguely.
So,
Vaguely. No, I'm glad that he's still holding down the fort with regards to War Machine at the club. Although I have seen many images of him playing Blood Bowl. But I guess beggars can't be choosers with regards to who's playing what. A small club.
no, you should be able to, Ben. You should be able to set what people play and allocate them a game and tell them not to play anything else.
Because they'll
Could
keep
do
turning up.
that.
Because they'll keep turning up if you do that. I find.
like-
That's the perfect way to do it, Ben.
I like being a dictator. I'm not gonna lie. You know, little Hitler. Just
less of the tater.
that's a tater.
Nice.
I'm all tater. I'm all carbohydrates. All potato.
Fair enough.
Get it?
I'm sure you got one. I'm like,
Potato.
You've been Mike. Excellent.
Potato. What happened to Nick?
Should we,
We got rid of Nick.
I don't know.
he's got a very busy month allegedly.
Yes,
he's
he
very-
has about the next 5 weekends taken care of.
It's got an
I'll
awful
be
lot
honest,
on.
I'm in a very similar state.
Going to be unconscious hiding under a table.
Allegedly, this weekend I've got a tournament in Bristol. Weekend after I've got a board game day nearby, and then I've got a convention the week after that. It's just utter chaos.
All you're doing at that convention is fucking your convention, though. Let's be honest.
No, that's not just what I'm doing. I'm doing other things as well.
About 90% of your time.
However, you do fancy an anime convention, and you in Keens for around about the go to hibanacon.co.uk, and we have articles every week, and you can just browse and see if you like it. Then give us some money.
Subtle.
My my other half
I'm not going to
says...
apologise for advertising. I'm running,
No, I wasn't asking you.
Well, so
Sorry,
my
very
missus,
smooth.
my missus does ask.
Alex gets promoted.
My missus does ask, why don't you do day passes? And
Because
it's the
that's not
same
the kind of
question.
convention we're aiming for.
I know. It's the same question I asked you as well. But still.
Yeah. No, we are going for the traditional anime convention in the style of stuff like Minamicon, Amecon, Iacon. You buy in for the weekend, you have your hotel room on site, and
Full
you are
absorption.
there for the duration.
Okay.
What
happens
also,
if
it's
you
a
don't
lot
like-
harder to manage. It's also a lot harder to manage day passes.
Okay.
That literally triples the cost for badges and makes it a lot harder for security staff.
I mean, even if there was just one of us or two of us with Dave.
Benj, I'm not making you your own special pass.
Ah, damn it.
Yes, you can have a day pass, Benj. It's the same cost as a normal pass.
I would do that. No, maybe. I don't know. Just so I don't have to stay at the
It'll also
hotel.
be the same colour and may allow you entry on other days.
Okay. May is the important part there.
Not in May, it's in November.
Yeah,
I reserve the right to member of the committee to tell you to smeg off.
Okay.
Oh.
Yay.
So shall we do any other business?
why not?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Alex, any other business?
League of Gentlemen.
What about them?
Started watching again.
It's awesome.
It's very good.
It's a great show.
Have you watched number 9 as well?
Especially the Christmas special.
Yeah, it's Christmas special. Have you watched number 9, Inside Number 9?
No, I've not seen that one.
It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's by half of It's half of League of Gentlemen. It's very good.
There was,
Okay.
were there
I
not
thought you-
3 guys in League of Gentlemen?
4. There's a
Four.
there's a silent writer, Jeremy, that isn't in it.
Okay.
So there's 4 really. No, it's in the movie. No, it's in the movie. No, it's in the movie.
I've not actually seen the movie now.
There's an actor playing Jeremy in the movie, but Jeremy's not in it.
One of them's in Game of Thrones as well, isn't he?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I'm out of touch with Game of Thrones. I'm waiting for it all to blow over.
He plays the man.
I haven't watched any of this season of Game of Thrones yet.
He was in one of the other seasons. A couple of.
I last watched season 3.
Yeah, I think he's season 4, season 5. Maybe he was in. I can't think who'd gone to the. He played.
Oh, you talking about Mark Gatiss,
Sorry, Mark Gatiss.
who's part of the Iron Bank?
Yeah.
Oh yes, he is, isn't he? Yes, I
Yeah.
do remember that. Yes, I do remember seeing a picture.
The man from the bank.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've been watching that. That's about all I've been really doing recently. Start a new job on Monday. So
Oh.
I'm just still within the same establishment, just a new team, slightly different role.
Find new people to bully.
Something like that.
Excellent.
Except we don't talk about the bullying on the podcast.
Oh, sorry. Not after the inquest. No, of course not. Sorry, my bad.
Not anywhere a lawyer could find it. So
No.
definitely on this podcast.
Financial business, all that.
You sound
Yeah.
so excited, Alex. Calm down.
Oh well, you know me. Living life to the full.
How'd you cope?
I don't know.
Okay. So, Benj?
I have been watching
Any other business or television?
90s.
I've mostly been watching.
Shut up, Alex! I've been watching 90s reruns of the Twilight
So,
Zone and painting various men off bits and pieces.
even though you hate it.
Even though I hate it.
This is hobby related. This is hobby content right here.
Yeah, this is premium hobby related content. Please donate to our Patreons.
No.
Nicely done.
So what's got you back into Menoth, Benj?
I'm painting the daughter cav that I bought second hand, and they're quite interesting. models.
Have you had to green stuff some saddles?
No, I gave up and just have them precariously tilted, in funny angles off the horse because they weren't supplied with the saddles.
Wow.
So they're riding bareback.
They are literally, their crotches are chafing madly.
Nice.
If they
At
were
all.
that way inclined, yeah, at all. I really like the Knight Exemplar attachment officer lady. She's a really nice model.
She's a lady.
Oh, okay.
And she adds a bit of flavour to a really bland unit, which is pretty faceless, basically.
Oh,
What?
Do you feel aren't a lot of units in Menoth kind of,
I
fully
like
visored
exemplars.
and
I mean, yeah, you got your. If you like rank and file faceless infantry with pikes and
I love them.
yeah, just get
then play Cadre?
No. They have more. I mean, have you seen a Temple Flame Guard helmet? It's just like a
it's a
can
with a hole in the front.
Yeah, it's the least inspired thing. That artwork from Apotheosis with Striker just standing around a load of dead ones, and it just looks like he's like basically gone into a pottery barn and knocked over a few employees and put pots on their heads. And
I like Flame Guard.
yeah, I like them, but they look weird. They remind
Cheap
me
infantry. That's all they're there for.
They remind me of Guardian robots from the Transformers animated series, and they all look really weird. Yeah. And if you line them up, they all look like a field of potatoes. Protruding from
The liver Dane.
Field of potatoes.
They do. They look like a field of freshly ploughed potatoes.
Plough your potatoes here.
And apart from that, yeah, I gave up on the elves because I'm missing a box of elves to try and make the faction complete at the moment for various reasons. And
Make elves great again.
yeah, I'm
Bring
looking
it
at
back.
I'm looking at painting some of the board game stuff that I have Super Dungeon Explorer at some stage.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, but I'm not feeling that.
I was going to say,
adventurous.
I have 2 Kickstarters worth of Super Dungeon Explorer. I have a third arriving at some point.
I didn't get on Legends. I left it.
Did you? I'm surprised
Yeah.
at that.
So,
I've got Forgotten King. I didn't get Legends. No.
Yeah.
I need to replace the dragon that Tim Martin broke.
Oh no.
Why don't you replace the Tim Martin that the dragon broke?
His wife would complain.
Don't live near Tim Martin anymore.
Oh dear.
Nah, that was an accident. He was a good guy.
I need
Right.
to. I also want to find a pop vinyl that they released at San Diego Comic Con of the mountain. The mountain. It looks pretty cool.
Now, that is how to make me lose all respect for you.
What? I only like a few pop vinyls, and that's one of them.
No, I'm sorry. The entire line of pop vinyl, Funko Pop, whatever.
You've
is
changed
just
your mind
creatively
on that
bankrupt.
multiple times. You've changed your mind on that
No, I
multiple
haven't.
times. You said that some of them you like. You do.
No,
and they-
that's Nendoroid, Bench.
What?
Nendoroid's good.
Oh yeah.
Funko Pop bad.
Oh, Funko Pop. They're just like a cheap, innocent version for those that can't afford proper statues. You know. Gotta get over the hate.
They are
Wow.
basically, oh no, they're the kind of figurine you'd expect shampoo to come inside of. They're that kind of.
I don't
Nasty.
have hair, so I don't know what shampoo bottles look like.
Bubble bath.
I don't.
Maybe.
I use coal tar soap because my skin is terrible, so I don't have any of those luxuries.
Fair enough.
I like
Good old Hotel.
However, terrible.
coal tar's great for people with bad skin. It's great.
Yeah.
It's cheap as well. Just putting that out there. It's about 49 pence a
So,
ton.
let's
Jesus Christ.
What, you wanted quality entertainment?
Other than 40k, any other business?
Oh, hello. I've been enjoying Stranger Things. Going back to TV, Stranger Things. I'm really nearly finished Stranger Things. Apart from that,
Yes, Stranger Things is fantastic.
it's lovely. Apart from 40k, see, I want to talk more 40k. No, nothing really. Apart from 40k,
Nothing at all. Okay,
can't think of it.
fair enough.
Cycling, more of the same, really. No, nothing dramatic worth mentioning over and above what I already have. Really. How about you, Mike? What have you been doing?
It's a good question, frankly. So in the last couple of weeks, I started watching Critical Role, which, if you don't know about it, is a show where a lot of voice actors sit around and play D&D. And so I decided to try and resurrect a local RPG group. Now we're kind of mostly there. We're starting next week. May even include Nick. Just but as part of this, I've picked the first thing that we're going to do. That means writing a one-shot campaign, which has taken an awful lot of time. I have a document of it here, and it is up to 13 pages of stuff so far.
You didn't just go and you didn't decide just to go and rip off the wall of Firetop Mountain as your D&D plan.
You should have done that.
This whole thing, it's set around a shadowy philanthropic organization that's sending a team of archaeologists, mercenaries, and adventurers to an island off the Mexican coast to try and come back with treasure.
And there's face huggers. There's face huggers.
No, there's no face huggers.
No, okay.
I can't tell you what's the island in case Nick listens in. So,
Predators.
It's guaranteed to be a rip-roaring adventure through mid-90s Mexico.
No guarantees are made.
What's the difference between...
No refunds are available.
What's the difference between mid-90s Mexico and now Mexico?
Mobile phones?
No mobile phones, no Google.
Okay. I didn't think Mexico had
Rather
Google.
minimal mobile phones and no Google.
Okay.
Crap mobile phones, no Google.
Yeah, pretty much. I deliberately said it there so that you couldn't just have the get out card of I make a call on my mobile phone. No.
Well, Google existed, but it was only really good for technical queries.
I used to call you on my cell phone.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Late night.
So that's been technical. And if we're going into the business of talking about movies and TV, I did have a bit of a movie weekend. Watching 10 Cloverfield Lane. Good Lord, that is an uncomfortable film.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's a really good movie, even though it wasn't originally designed to be part of the mythos.
But without spoiling the ending, that is... you can never really get comfortable with the film. I enjoyed every bit of it on some level. But just sitting there and going, I have no idea what's going to happen next because, at least one of the characters is unpredictable and prone to snapping. Really, really good. Thoroughly recommend it.
I did finally watch Ghost in the Shell live action, actually, last weekend.
What did you think of that?
Oh, okay. What did you think
it's all right. It's all right. I enjoyed the nostalgia of the bits that were lifted directly out of the original. The shots, the spider tank and stuff, the middle bits and bit at the end were lifted directly out of the anime.
I had a very similar feeling. I quite enjoyed it. I felt there was one plot that could have been excised, which is a very minor piece and didn't need to be there.
Was it about tea? About tea.
It may have involved tea and visits to an older lady.
Yes, you didn't need that bit. Just the tea was enough. Yes.
About 7 minutes you could lose off that film.
It was all right. It felt oversimplified. It felt fun. It was, considering how complicated Ghost in the Shell generally is in all its guises, it didn't have any of that complexity at all.
I'm perfectly okay with that movie being simplified. But then again, I'm not a fan of Mamoru Oshii and his constant navel gazing in movies. So
I like the standalone complex and the
that's my own
details of
personal
the.
angle.
I like the TV series and how complicated that gets and how hard it is to follow. I quite enjoy that.
Standalone complex, fantastic. I'm really looking forward to when they put out a Blu-ray edition, because we know it's coming. We just don't
Oh, is
know
it? Oh, cool. I still haven't watched the second series.
Yeah.
I've still not watched the second one properly. I started it and I need to stick with it and start again. But yes.
Other thing I watched at the weekend, and this, there's more chance people possibly haven't watched this. Paranorman.
No.
Okay. Anyone
Heard
watch
of,
Coraline?
not watched. Yes.
Kubo and the Two Strings?
No.
Okay. So, Paranorman is a stop motion, I hesitate to say kids film, because it's clearly aimed at children. But in a slightly unconventional way. You're dealing with who can see the dead, and what happens when his town is threatened by an ancient curse. It's by a company called Studio Leica, who only really do stop motion stuff, and they do really, really good kids films. So Coraline was it was a Neil Gaiman story where you have a little girl bored of her life, wanders through a cupboard and finds herself in an alternate version of the world where everything is wonderful and fun all the time, and she can stay there if she'll let the mother of the house sew buttons over her eyes.
Yeah.
They do some interesting and dark takes on kids entertainment, and they are really, really good. The only one of theirs that I've not seen yet is Box Trolls. Yeah. If you find yourself at a loss, put on Kubo and the Two Strings or Paranorman or Coraline, and you're guaranteed a fun time. Possibly not great for younger kids. I'm just going to throw that one out there. Maybe watch it first if you've got real little ones. But,
actually, one thing to throw back into that is Preacher. I can scarcely believe how good Preacher is. I'm flabbergasted by how amazing it is. Best TV series from a comic ever, by far. Really, really good. Having read most of the comics, I love what they're doing with it. I love the variation, the changes. I love the way that season 2 is book 1, basically. And it's just really good. The episode 5 of season 2 is just one of the best television episodes of anything ever.
Okay.
Really love it.
It's not something I've really heard much about. So
I read a lot of it whenever it was out, years and years and years ago, and loved reading it. Garth Ennis, best work. I mean, he does some really good Hulk as well, but it's really, really good. It's awesome. It's just they have tweaked it slightly here and there, but the soul and feel of the original story is there.
Something on TV. There's a load of stuff that just you think it should work on TV, but just doesn't.
Well, I think what we've learned in the last few years,
bit of tweak.
I think we've learned in the last few years is where they make it look absolutely perfect, it kills the soul. So Watchmen is the biggest example of that for me. Is that it looks fantastic, it looks amazing, and it's so perfect, and yet the soul of that story is just not there.
I think part of what sucks the soul out through its eyes is the length.
I thought you could say Zack Snyder.
I still enjoy the movie because it's a moving version of the comic.
It nearly is, yeah.
At the same time, dear God, it's long.
Whereas you then take V for Vendetta, which is quite different. They changed a lot of the look, they changed a lot of the story, they moved the story around, but it maintains the soul of that story and the pacing and the level of reading the book. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love it.
V for Vendetta, immensely entertaining film, and it's Wachowski's as well, which is surprising.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their stuff is not brilliant.
I like some, but yeah.
But yeah, it's good, stylish.
Preacher is more similar to that in the sense that it has the heart and soul of the story. It's there. It's got its guts of it, and they've tweaked bits here and there and swapped things around, and it works. I mean, the core premise of this Preacher gaining the kind of this this thing called Genesis, which grants and proves the word of God, which is the first episode, so it's not a spoiler. In the comics, explains what Genesis is in the first 4 pages. We're halfway through season 2, and it hasn't even covered it yet.
Oh,
it's lovely. It's great. I keep turning to Beth, going, "You don't know what that is yet, do you?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Cool."
If we are going to talk about surprisingly good adaptations of earlier properties, and I'm going to make this my last bit of any other business. Feel free to take over stuff afterwards. The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
The movie.
Yes,
it's very good.
I loved the original series. I watched it in reruns when I was a kid. It was fantastic. I watched The Man from U.N.C.L.E. the movie and thought, this is going to be unbearable trash.
Yeah. Yes.
And then I watched it and went, oh, it's still a bit trashy, but it's really fun trash.
It is. It's really good. I agree. I felt the same way.
And,
yeah. My mum bought it. I sat down and watched it with my mum because she used to love the original series, and that's why we watched so much of the original stuff. And it's great. Loved it. Armie Hammer.
It's that
Armie Hammer.
beautiful
He's
level
awesome.
of antagonism between what is it, Armie Hammer and Henry Cavill. Yeah, the beautiful level of antagonism between those two is fantastic.
I love the way it's another prequel movie. It's a remake, but it's a prequel movie. Like most of those other things, like Starsky and Hutch and Christ knows what else. It's kind of they're prequel movies, aren't they? Made decades later. I love it as well. It's pretty good fun.
I mean, it's a shame they'll never get kind of another movie off that. But if that's all they do with that property, I'm perfectly happy with it.
I think both those actors are significantly more busy now than they were at the time when they made that.
Yeah. It took something that was inherently a little bit silly and camp and made it still be silly and camp, and that's fine. One of the greatest sins that the last 30 years has brought upon us is dark and gritty reboots.
Can be good. They can be good.
They can, but it takes a lot of skill to make a dark and gritty reboot good.
Yes.
It's not just about giving the main character a mouthful of gravel and a tortured backstory.
Are you saying Christopher Nolan can do it and everybody else is shit? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not going anywhere near that one.
No.
So, okay. Any more for any more?
I think I'm done.
Or has everyone fallen asleep?
Everybody else has. We've talked about films. Everybody's gone away.
To be fair, people do say that us talking about films is one of the most enjoyable parts of the podcast. So,
we should do it more.
Might as well give up and just do film podcasts at this point. But not films in cinemas. No. Stuff you find on like Netflix at 2 a.m. while going, oh yeah, I fancy a bit of that. Or stuff you find on Google Play while browsing the least popular section.
Do you know what? I struggle to remember what those are when we come to this conversation because I watched loads last weekend and I couldn't tell you what any of them are right now. I really enjoyed random movies.
I will admit that for having to remember what I watched, I did have to log into Google Play and go, right, what have I got in Google Play? What did I watch recently? And I've still got bits in there I'm looking forward to. Crimson Peak. So that's another one I've rewatched Pacific Rim the other day.
I still like that.
That's a movie that's got better.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I was going to say that because I thought you were going to say it hadn't aged well. I still really enjoyed that.
No, really enjoyed that a second time. That was good, visceral fun.
I watched it to see if it was child friendly. It really isn't.
No, it's for anyone who's into their anime. It's basically a wonderful piss take of Evangelion, especially the episode "Dance Like You Want to Win," which is it's the best Evangelion live action movie ever made.
It's got quite a good healthy dose of generic kind of stereotypes that get thrown into all those kind of movies, from everything from Akira right through, because the general in Akira is so similar to what they've done in with what's his face? I can't remember his name now. Good name's gone.
There is a lot of homage in Pacific
there
Rim. A lot of homage, and quite frankly, I'm happy. Still questioning the second one. It does have Stephen DeKnight directing it, who did Spartacus and the first season of Daredevil. So
okay. I'm looking forward to going to watch. Oh, my brain's just gone now. What's out this weekend? Valorian. Valorian.
That's had terrible. Valerian.
The Luc Besson.
Valerian, yeah.
It's had terrible reviews.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Really?
No one does visuals like Luc Besson.
But it's had some really bad reviews.
I don't care.
Couldn't care less.
Okay.
Fifth Element had terrible reviews from some people as well. And
Fifth Element had awful critic reviews. It was completely ripped to bits.
And to be fair, it is still a bit of a campy mess. Let's be fair.
It is. It's fun.
Or is that the one that looks like Besson? I can never remember that one. That is Besson, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the one. It's the one that's taken from Valerian. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It may well turn out to be utter trash. But
my thinking is Saturday late afternoon, and then I can still do something else with the evening. If it's rubbish, either way, it'll be good.
I've just looked at Luc Besson's IMDb page and noticed something that Lucy 2.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you've not seen Lucy, it's worth your time.
But why make a sequel?
That's a good point, actually.
Why? No, it's fun, but why? Money, I know. Yeah. Money is always the answer in it, but yeah.
Yeah. Luc Besson films do not traditionally make a large amount of money. They're cultural touchstones, but...
Especially if they involve water and ocean. Anyway, yes.
So, right. Anyway, are we done? I think we are.
Yes. Did I mention I'm playing 40k?
Excellent. You did.
Okay.
Several times.
All right.
Alex has died of boredom or loneliness. One of the two. Well,
you've been listening to Elite Cadre, Hordes and War Machine, and 40k podcast.
What have you done?
Say that with a straight face.
What have you done, Kurt?
I'm sorry about that. Actually, I'll just take that back.
He's had fun.
I have had fun.
Well, at least he's had fun.
You've been listening to Elite Cadre, a wargaming podcast that doesn't take itself too seriously or anything else. I've been Kurt.
Yeah. I've been Mike.
I've been Benj because Alex is dead.
Literally dead.
Literally. He did sound like he was talking through a biscuit jar.
Bye, Nick.
It was the phone call from Mexico in the 60s again.
Do you have a way of editing his voice to make it better? Like,
long before.
Maybe just beeping it all out as bits.
Not quite that bad. Anyway, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Podcast done. Thank you very much to those who've been listening all the way through. So that's Byron,
and we apologise.
Dave, Matt. It's been interesting seeing some of the bits that have been going from the YouTube chat when I remembered to log in. Yeah, we'll have the edited. Well, I say we. I'll have the edited episode sometime soon. It's a lot easier to do stuff like that now when my job is literally like 3 minutes from my house.
Wow.
Amazing. So
yeah, I'm not going to talk about mine, and especially with children and stuff at the same time. Let's not go there.
Yeah,
it's a whole new level of life experience trying to do children to school and commute at the same time.
I can imagine that being terrifying.
And if one thing doesn't line up,
you're
everything else
dropped off at 7 in the morning.
It's one thing knocks off, it doesn't quite meet, then you miss that bus, you don't get this happen, and then oh my god, 9:30 meeting, fuck no.
I have to be in at 9:15 every single morning for the morning stand-up, where we can discuss exactly what I haven't done this week.
Wow, that's motivating.
No, every day there's a morning stand-up, so people can say I'm blocked by this, or I need this to be done first, or I'm having trouble with this.
Should be positive, in theory.
It's reasonably positive. Also, it kind of, we have a graph that comes up, tells you know how far we are through the
Have you got a
through
graph
the
as well?
iteration,
Have you
how
got a
close
graph
we
as
are
well?
to being done.
Have you got a graph as well?
Yeah,
As your graph.
all mod cons.
Mm.
So it's good. I'm having to learn Java, which is the devil's own backside of a programming language.
I saw you complaining about that. Yes.
I'm a tester, not a coder. What am I doing with my life?
I today was trying to diagnose mobile phones not getting their emails, and I had to admit to the guy on the phone, I'm far too impressed with myself because I haven't really done anything technical in quite a little while. I'm in such a suit. I've known this guy, support guy, not one of our guys, support somebody else for quite a number of years now, and yeah, he found that hilariously funny.
You've moved it. You've drunk from the cup of management. You've lost the knack.
I really have.
Okay, cool.
And I got that silly, giddy kind of I made something work feeling. I'm like, wait. What happened to me?
10 years ago, this would have been bread and butter stuff.
It really would, yeah. 10 years ago, I was building sand.
Oh, I got very worried over the capabilities of people at work the other day when I was trying to access one of their internal sites. Couldn't get to it, but someone else could. I said, "Oh, okay. Could you just do an NS lookup, please?"
Yeah.
And they kind of turned around and went, "What? Like NS lookup? Nope, never used it." Like, oh boy, okay. Open a command window. You know one of those, don't you? Took a little bit of time, but now they know how to query DNS.
Wow.
Did they open the command window there?
Yes, they did. I have met people who didn't know how to do that. That was our,
It's got in fairness, it's got a darker art because you don't have a shortcut for it for quite a while now. Do you? Doing
But
Windows
when I was-
R and they're just typing CMD as a quick thing, but there isn't really another option anymore, is there? It's around somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I don't go looking for it anymore. I just do Windows.
Yeah, you have to know the name of it to find it.
Yeah.
But no, when I was working for the council, the apprentices there had never used the command prompt. And these were people who were allegedly technical adults.
Were they?
And I was sat there going, okay, this is going to be an interesting one. We're going to teach you about disk part. We're going to teach you about format.
Oh, shit.
And there are questions like, why are we doing this on the command line? It's like, because you don't have access to a GUI in the mode we're in. Have fun.
And by the way, Control Z is not going to do anything at all.
Yeah. Control C will do things. Please don't push it while you're using disk part.
Why is there no disk now? Why is there no partition?
Yeah.
Because you screwed it.
You can do as much damage with CMD as you can with Bash. It's just horrendous.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm thirsty and therefore going away. So it's been lovely speaking to you, fine gentlemen. Benj, I look forward to meeting you for a game of War Machine at some point.
Yeah, I believe next week is good for me, but
whereupon you'll probably beat me in the face with
Fiora?
Fiora, and then say how shit she is after he's beaten you with her.
I would never do that.
You will have to send me your address at some point. So.
I will.
Just put it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everyone can spam Benji's house. Right. Good night, people.
Enjoy.
Good night.
Good night.